Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be trying every ruby chocolate I was able to find in supermarkets. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you might have seen me try Easter eggs last year that were just made of ruby chocolates, and at the time I was really excited about it because I'm a really big fan of ruby chocolates. I really like that it's so different than regular chocolate with this sort of berry aftertaste, and this year I started noticing that more ruby chocolates overall were coming out made by different brands. I really wanted to try them and just see which one is the best tasting and if they taste any different from each other really. So I got a bunch of ruby chocolates to try. I know the holidays are basically over, but it's never a bad time to eat chocolate, I guess. So I'm gonna try them today. Out of all of these chocolates, I think I've only tried one of them before. I'm gonna start off with the ruby chocolates that I've been able to find in Portugal. So the first one I'm gonna try is by the brand Portugal or something. I have no idea how to read this honestly, but this brand tends to make sort of baking chocolate, so I think this is meant to be cooked with, as you can probably tell by the fact that it's pretty big. It actually even has a recipe for a ruby chocolate mousse on the back. It's in bars like this, and over there on the corner it says 25 grams just so you don't have to weigh it. These bars are fairly thick. It's really thick. Okay, this is really good. In terms of flavor, it's really not that different from the ruby chocolate Kit Kats in my opinion, but the texture on this is like so smooth and kind of buttery, and it just melts in your mouth so easily that my mouth is kind of watering. Like, it's so good. I also think it might be slightly more bitter than the ruby chocolates in Kit Kats, but that might just be because obviously the Kit Kat itself on the inside is a little bit sweet, and maybe that's what makes me think that ruby Kit Kats are a little bit sweeter than this. I really liked it. I would strongly recommend this. I honestly don't remember how much any of these ruby chocolates were, just because I've gotten them over the course of the last few months literally, so I'm really not too sure, especially because some of them I bought while traveling through Asia, so yeah, it's a bit hard for me to find out exactly how much those are. So the next chocolate that I'm going to try is also by Nestlé, or Nestlé as we say in Portugal. I am kind of expecting this one to taste the most similar to ruby chocolate Kit Kats, just because it's by the same brand. From the front it looks kind of pretty because they made these sort of wave shapes, and it actually looks really smooth, but then you turn towards the back and it's super chunky. Looks like it's just raspberries. They just look like they're very different colors for some reason. In comparison to the previous chocolates, this one's like a lot thinner. It has a completely different smell. I think it's just the freeze-dried raspberries. It smells really strongly of berries. As I expected, the taste of the chocolate is very similar, but it's definitely not as smooth and it doesn't melt as easily as the baking chocolate. I'm not very used to having freeze-dried fruit, and I'm not sure how I feel about it, because in my first bite I thought that the freeze-dried raspberries gave it a really interesting texture because I didn't just straight up bite into one of them, but I just did, and that was really off-putting. It was like chewy, but it didn't want to break apart, so I just felt like it kind of got stuck in my teeth a little bit, and yeah, I don't think I'm a huge fan of freeze-dried fruit, and because of it, it's definitely a lot more bitter. I can still eat it, it's still pretty good, but I would say that the first chocolate was like a 9 out of 10. It was really kind of amazing, and this one, I feel like I can only give it maybe like a 6, because I still kind of like it, but I don't think I would buy this one again. The freeze-dried raspberries are a texture that apparently I don't enjoy. I didn't know that, but it's not awful, I guess. It's just a little bit too bitter, so I'd recommend this if you like freeze-dried fruit and I guess bitter sweet things. So the last chocolate that I have to try that I bought in Portugal is this one. Again, looks like it's got a little bit of freeze-dried raspberries, so yeah. Okay, I like it a little bit more than the Nestle one. The chunks of raspberry are a lot smaller, which make them less noticeable, and it just seems to have a lot less raspberry chunks, so it's not nearly as bitter as the Nestle one. So I would give this bar, I think, a 7.5. I probably would buy this again. And now I'm gonna start trying the ruby chocolates that I got while in Asia. And the first one I'm gonna try is this one, which I actually bought a few pouches while I was in Asia, and I did have a few of them, so I know I really like this one. But it's basically miniature ruby Kit Kat balls with chunks of nuts and cranberry. I'm not sure what nuts exactly. I mean, based on the picture, it looks like almonds. Basically, on the sides of this wafer, you have really, really thin ruby chocolate, but on the top and bottom, to make it round, it's a little bit thicker, and it's just really, really good. I'm pretty sure that the cranberries in this are also freeze-dried, but honestly, the pieces are so small that it just gives a little bit of a different flavor. You can't really taste it in terms of texture, which I quite like. And similar thing with the nuts. I really, really like it, so I have to give it also a 9. My only complaints is that the bags for these things are really tiny. There's 6 left, so there were 7 of those little things in one of these bags. It's not a lot. I only have 2 chocolates left that I also got in Asia, and they're both by the same brand, which is Latte. And honestly, I'm not even sure if these chocolates are different. I mean, the packaging is clearly different, but that's about it. They both say pink crystal, so I'm not sure if the packaging is just different for the sake of being different, or if these are actually different varieties. No! Oh wow, this looks bad. I can't really blame Latte, the company, and I'm not saying every latte chocolate you're gonna get is like this. In fact, I hope none of it is. I am going to try it, but it looks so bad, and I do think that could be completely my fault because I brought this all the way from Asia, because this stuff is almost entirely white. That doesn't really inspire me with confidence. I hope that it still tastes really good. I don't know. I just broke off a chunk, and obviously the inside is a heck of a lot pinker. It's just the outside that went white, probably from the changes in temperature and stuff like that while traveling. I'm a bit confused. It feels really smooth on the outside, which is kind of weird, but it doesn't melt nearly as easily as the other chocolates. It just feels very crumbly, like chewing it a little bit in my mouth just made it break apart a lot. It didn't really melt that much, which I think is a little bit weird. Again, this is a totally skewed opinion of this particular chocolate because, like I said, it went through a lot. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a 5 because I feel like I can't really rate it very well like this. Last chocolates. This box actually seems to have 2 different varieties of ruby chocolate, so I wonder if the pink ones are meant to be this, since the packaging is pretty much identical. Okay, that is so much better. What the hell? It actually has like a very clear, distinct white filling. I really didn't expect that. Okay, this is way better. The filling might just be like white chocolate, maybe, or something like that, because it literally tastes like nothing. The ruby chocolate just overpowers the flavor of whatever the filling is. The texture is a lot smoother. It's nowhere near as crumbly, but it also kind of tastes like a milder version of the first chocolate. I'm gonna try the white package. It looks exactly the same, but I do wonder if the inside is the same as well. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and say that every single one of these are all exactly the same thing. I'm not gonna say that they're, you know, an amazing chocolate, but it's still pretty solid and pretty nice. So I would give these 7.5. That was me trying every single type of ruby chocolate I could get my hands on, apart from just regular ruby chocolate Kit Kats. I would very, very strongly recommend the first chocolates and these ruby chocolate Kit Kat balls. If you try any of these chocolates, let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. I've still got chunks of raspberry like stuck in my teeth. Ah, it's bitter.